I started by visiting a truly spectacular off-grid cabin near Anaconda, Montana. Then took off-grid to the extreme to discover if I could make it luxury. This just went to ice. All this is ice. Great. I don't know what luxury to you is. If it's a spa day, I don't think I'll join you for the spa. The first major snow of the season had fallen, making things really cold and sloppy, but beautiful. Now remember, this is all off-grid. Everything that this house uses comes from right here. When I arrived at the cabin, I did a quick tour. This cabin really has it all when it comes to being off-grid and being completely sustainable, with 9 solar panels that's managed by this incredibly technologically advanced system downstairs. These things are the batteries. Now these are smart batteries. These are lithium smart batteries. They will hold a charge a long time. When you get down to like 27% or something, then you could, and you wanted more power, you just kick on the generator. It also has an amazing master bedroom, loft upstairs with plenty of room for other people to stay, a full bathroom and kitchen, and views that are absolutely incredible. It sits on 26 acres with several ponds and a little surprise in one of them. Here's a beaver lodge right here. So beavers, they build this lodge out here like in the middle of a pond like this, and then they have underground tunnels that come up into it from underneath. So they'll go out and they'll swim underneath into the lodge. Beavers are really important to ecosystems. They can be a total pain in the butt, and you have to move them and take them out if they start building dams across your roads and flooding everything out. But a place like this, that's pretty cool, because you see the deer rubs right there. Look at this place, man. Look at that. Pretty fantastic, huh? For a house like this, you definitely don't want to wear your shoes in here if you can help it. It's nice and warm too, see? And that's because you got a soapstone fireplace that's heating this place right up. He's even got it all burning nice for us. So I hung up my hat and got a great night's sleep. And the next morning, as I had coffee, I reflected on the fact that this house is for sale by Clearwater Properties. So if you want to be off-grid, but also luxury, this might be the place for you. Go to clearwaterproperties.com to see their entire selection of off-grid and remote properties. It might be time for you to purchase some off-grid luxury. I had a fantastic comfy night here, and now I'm headed up to the mountains to see if we can make that part of this off-grid journey off-grid and luxury at the same time. Luxury is being pampered, and that's what we're going to try to do. I don't know much about luxury, but I do know that in luxury, you have to soak up culture. So I had to stop and take in some history. This town actually was actually created by Marcus Daly, who was one of the copper kings. And he owned a bunch of mines in Butte, copper mines in Butte, and he wanted a way to smelter his ore so he didn't have to ship it away and pay somebody else to do it. So he built the town of Anaconda to do that. And he started the town in 1881, and then he opened up the smelter in 1884. Well, he wasn't the only copper king though. There was another one named William Clark, and they were massive competitors. Marcus Daly wanted to control the entire system. So he wanted to have the mines, the smelter, and a way to transport them. So he put in the railroad, he started the shipping company to try to ship it. So he was the one who made the money on all of it. And he ended up with a net worth of about $75 million, which today, a couple $1 billion. William Clark ended up with $300 million net worth in 1920, which equates to over $7 billion today. That was a big one there. Somebody with some money lived in that place. I was just saying, the home of somebody important. That was Marcus Daly's home. This is where the smelter is, and all the stuff came down through all these buildings and everything. This is all gone, I believe. Here's his actual chair, right there. This is how, so they melt all the copper out of the rock and everything, come into these big ingots, which are like that. You can see how big that is. That's like 3 feet tall. Probably had these things on it so you could move the ingot of copper. A couple things that are kind of interesting that I learned in there was, one, that before Marcus Daly built the smelter here in Anaconda, all the copper had to be shipped from here to Wales, like across the ocean, to be smelted. So him building that smelter made copper what it was, because without an ability to actually extract it from the ore, it wasn't worth a whole lot by the time you shipped it all the way over to Wales and then all the way back. I think I'm going to turn around right here if I don't get stuck doing that, and then we'll load up the four-wheeler and head up the trail. Obviously this is not like a luxury four-wheeler, this is a 2000 Honda, but it works, guys. It works, that's for sure. This is luxury to me. I don't know what luxury to you is. If it's a spa day, then more power to you, but I'll let you have the spa days. I don't think I'll join you for the spa. Ooh, that's nice and frozen. Gotta give it a little gas. Whoa. Try not to sit down in this thing. Alright, let's get everything loaded up on here. I think I got everything all strapped down. I mean, I got everything. This is a luxury trip, so I've got stuff. I've got my duffel bag and my backpack wrapped in my tarp. Got a lantern and all my other gear in this pannier right here. So I don't know, it's actually more difficult than packing a dang horse, seems like. I think it's a losing cause, but I'm gonna try to put these down. Problem with your wet hands is, like, you're trying to put that down and it just sticks to your hand and pulls back, and it's just a pain in the butt. I think we got enough fuel if we don't lose something going up there, because I just have everything kind of strapped on here weird, but I'm definitely overdressed to be working like that, packing everything up. I was sweating my brains out. Now probably going to get pretty chilly on this ride up here, because you get the air moving and you're not moving, it can get kind of cold. Moose tracks right here. I just saw a cow moose right there going through the trees. I couldn't get my camera out because my hands were stuck in my gloves, but she's right over there somewhere. There's 2 of them. Okay, well, let's get to setting up our luxury camp here. I set up my tent, and I think I got it pretty close. Because it's a little odd angle, I put my bag over there and kind of kitty cornered my sleeping bag so I can put my hat and stuff up here. With luxury, you have to have what? You need a chair to sit in, a book to read, you gotta have some light, ambiance, Yeah, see, this is the life. This is how you camp in luxury. You got my dinner coat on, reading a book under this awning. Why not, right? So, other than the fact that it's about 26 degrees, this is luxury. I'm gonna read my book for a while, and then I will put on a spot of supper. Gotta be careful, because this is just teetering on the top of here, so if I lift up the wrong thing, if I get one end too a little too light or too heavy, then the whole thing's gonna tip over and tip over my water there, so gotta be careful of that. To get a good dose of butter in there. American Wagyu, so Wagyu and half Wagyu, half Angus, and it is a sirloin. So I'll tell you what, this is like the best beef in the world, honestly. There's nothing better than marbled meats in Billings, Montana. It's incredible stuff. All you need on this is just salt and pepper. So salt and pepper, but I salt it pretty good. Nice and peppery. Well, that part's totally done. Luxury meat right there. You guys really need to try this. Just try some other meat and order some steaks from Marbled Meats in Billings, Montana. You can even use my code Trinity to get 20% off, and then taste them side by side, and you tell me that I'm wrong. Brr, that's a cold wind. Amazing luxury steak. And I'm gonna go make a fire for a while. Yeah, this is so you can burn wet wood. You just have to burn small enough pieces to get it to burn. And once you get really good hot coals, just keep it fed good and it'll still burn. It just isn't gonna throw like a huge flame. It's gonna have a lot more smoke, but throws out a lot of heat. Thinking I would throw it over that tree right there. Yeah, I probably can. It's really hard to throw a cord over a tree because it just gets stuck on everything and doesn't want to fall. So sometimes the best way is just to grab something. I just had a piece of wood over there and just tie it on and throw that over the tree. That way you got a little weight behind it. All right, I'm trying to throw this over. There we go. Now pull that down. There we go. Good. So it's easier if you push up on it. This tree, so you want to tie it off to a different tree so that if the bear tries to climb that one, he doesn't cut the cord. It's about this time of year it gets dark so early. It's about, well, it's 7 now, so it's not that early, but it's still a long night. If you go to bed right now, if you crawl in bed right now, you gotta wait until, I mean, it doesn't get light again until 7:30 tomorrow morning. So you don't want to crawl in bed too early like I did last time and lay there forever. I'll sit out here for a little while longer. This time I can have a fire, so I'll sit out with the fire. If there is any fire restrictions right now, give me a break. I mean, I'm sitting in 6 inches of snow, so I think I've had enough of sitting in the dark out here, so I'm gonna stick this in under my shelter. All this stuff up. All right, well, let's crawl in bed. I'm trying to get in here without getting everything wet. Track a bunch of snow in, you'll get everything soaking. So I'm gonna close that and then take my boots off. I don't know, I think I'm gonna leave my boots out here so they don't, because if they sit here inside, they're just gonna melt a bunch of snow off. So next step is if it gets any colder than this, I'm gonna have to get a hot tent with a stove. My hat's got some snow on it. I better knock that off outside. Not in my boots, preferably. All right, I'm all tucked in. Everything seems to be okay. My socks are still dry, so that's good. Didn't even have to change them. So I will see you guys in the morning unless something happens at night. Probably not a good thing if it does, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Oh boy. Good morning. Well, I wouldn't say that I was like super toasty warm the whole night, but I was warm enough. I slept pretty good, especially the last part of the night, of course. And then I fell asleep and woke up I just woke up, it was 7:18. That's ridiculous. It's still totally dark outside. So I'm gonna get up and go start breakfast. Look at that. Don't those look warm? Ought to be fun to put your foot in, huh? You can see the ice on there. This just went to ice. All this is ice. Great. I don't know why it doesn't feel that terrible. My sock is pretty insulated apparently. Oh, whew. That's cold. So there's ice in there. All right, I think this is boiling. Yep, turn that down. Yeah, it's definitely cold this morning. I mean, my hands are pretty chilly every time I start messing with this metal stuff. But bacon's just about ready, so I'm gonna shove it over to the side and put some eggs in there. See if they're frozen in here. They might be frozen. Nope, they're not. Lord, I just thank you so much for this day, and thank you for this food, and then I can enjoy this wonderful outdoors. Lord, I give this the audience a great experience in watching this. In Jesus' name, amen. It's hot. Whew. I think there's a couple things I'm missing. This is pretty cold. This froze overnight. See that? It's definitely colder today. The wind's not blowing. Maybe that's the difference, but because it didn't feel as cold this morning. I just got back to the pickup. She's pretty frozen. Start this baby up, and then we'll, before we load everything up, give it a chance to warm up a little bit. I often think about back in the old days, you know, they would go up in the mountains and live there, you know, and they didn't come back to a nice warm pickup and jump in and turn the heater on and then drive 55 miles an hour, well, or 15 miles an hour down this thing. This is a different day and age, and it's actually, I enjoy having the ability to jump the four-wheeler in the back of here, turn the heater on and go, or jump the horses in the trailer, get in a nice warm pickup. I don't think I was born too late, that's for sure. I get to enjoy the outdoors instead of living out there and suffering in them. Was this really luxury, or was it just misery? Well, obviously the first part of this was definitely luxury. That home, that off-grid home, was really something. Coming up here, you know, I would not call this luxury, but it was a little bit more luxury than I usually take along, I guess, because I had the extra stuff on the four-wheeler, which helps. I think we ought to try luxury in a little different way, but next time I try the luxury thing, I'm going to take a hot tent, which means a wood stove and a bigger tent. Yes, that is a pain in the butt to set up. It really is. It's way simpler to just do this, especially in this kind of weather, 22 degrees. It's not terrible. So, but if you get into anything colder, I mean, it's hard to get out of your sleeping bag when it's really cold. So if you have a nice wood stove and you can just kind of sit there and warm up in the tent, that would be more luxurious than what I just did. Make sure you check out lifeinthewest.com to find out how you can become involved in my community and get merch drops. And also, go check out Clearwater Properties to find your luxury off-grid property. Until next time, I'm Trinity Vandenaker. God bless.